The XFL Gambling Podcast playoff preview and picks, as well as DFS episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Shady Rays. Yes, Shady Rays is having the best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. And go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to enter the Shady Rays Parlay of the Day contest. We're also brought to you by SGPN's Draft Week. Yeah, NFL Draft Week. All week long, SGPN has you covered with NFL draft props, mock drafts, including tonight, and our live NFL Draft watch party. So make sure to smash that subscribe button and over at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. And remember, as always, to let it ride.
Not the XFL. Yes, it is. Do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
Yes, this is the XFL Gambling Podcast. We got the extreme playoffs, the crossroad of where playoff football happens, and happiness happens from the viewer. If you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to, well, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
It is a matter of national security that we subscribe to the XFL Gambling Podcast and those beautiful games that we got occurring this fine weekend. I am joined by my co-host, the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which if you're not, he was live like 10 minutes ago. All right, I'm surprised. I'm betting that J Mark was in the chat fucking with him, but yeah, subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. They're doing NFL draft stuff. He is the host. They call him the man in the box, and he's
the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
$1 million smile. How is the Arctic Circle? CJ Sullivan, I give you. I'm sorry.
No, Dundee, thank you. It gets longer and more elaborate each time, and I get something new out of it each week. I believe it's finally here in the playoffs. I'm finally going to get used to it. J Mark was not in the comments. It looks like he was getting lost in his liquid lunch. But I understand. He has to get ready for this show.
Yeah,
got to make sure the liquids are all lined up. I'm sure he had to run to the package store, as they say out there.
Yeah, the old had to go to the old Hardee's. Make sure if you show up to the one restaurant in town, they know what you're ordering, what number you're going with, because they've been watching you your whole fucking life. All right, we are joined by third man in the booth from, I like to say, Waterloo, Iowa, but he's not, right? He is the host. He is the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, which you should be subscribed to.
Yes.
He is the host of the NFL Gambling Podcast. He is a Chicago Bear fan. Give it up for Justin Mark, aka Liquid Lunch. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Sorry, CJ. The quote unquote real job was keeping me busy while your mod was on.
Gotcha.
So usually there.
So you were
drinking
this
time though.
So you were drinking.
I wish I needed a drink. It's been one of those days.
That's all right. You can listen with all the others by subscribing to the Bottom Line Bombs and getting all my draft props.
And you can tail my XFL DFS lineup because I got a feeling I'm bringing home just stacks of cash this week.
J-Mark's been hot on the DFS.
He has been. Well, he turns in 700 lineups. I turn in one every week. All right.
I do one and done. I do a sheet of integrity as well. One lineup. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. Just boom, submit it. Feel good
I
about
have
yourself.
limited
But
recently because I have to do my 1,500 USFL lineup. So,
or it was just tax season. Your wife's like, "You're spending how much on DFS?"
They're badges, honey. Trust.
Guys, we got playoff football, and I'm going to take you to. Let's just jump right in.
Yes.
I mean, I wish I had some news to talk about. J-Mark, if you have any, I was looking to see if Victor Bolden's playing. No idea. I was looking to see a few other players are playing.
Ethan Wolf, the legendary fantasy tight end for Francois said ha.
So I wish I could say, guys, let's change. Let's think about the possibilities of how this team will look without this player or with this player. But no, I can't.
All right.
So I think we just dive right in. But I think before we dive in, let's just get us paid. All right. I want to tell you that the good old Extreme Football League Gambling Podcast. Yes, the XFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Shady Rays. We're doing something great right now. The Shady Rays Parlay of the Day contest. Oh, man. We here at SGPN and the XFL Gambling Podcast are running a special Parlay of the Day contest for people who've have purchased shades from ShadyRays.com while using the promo code SGPN. Yes, each day of the NFL draft, the Sports Gambling Podcast will release a Shady Rays Parlay of the Day. And if the parlay hits, the cash will be awarded to one lucky listener for every single day. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to start getting a little shady. All right. But look, we are brought to you by our friends at Shady Rays, and they have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much, much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a truly world-class product that's really as good as any expensive pair you've ever worn. They got the key essentials: durable frames. How many times you've been to this? You bought a pair of glasses. You say these frames aren't durable.
They're weak.
Terrible. They got extremely clear optics for all those outdoor adventures.
I hate the shady optics.
That's what I'm saying.
Tinted.
That's what I'm saying. You're out there and you're walking your dog on a hiking trail trying to.
Right.
You can't see shit.
You go walking in the bushes. You can't tell what's going. Is that a shady image? Is that a killer up there? Oh no, it's just a mailbox.
Yeah. Well, in LA, I mean, shit. I mean, you go to you live by Runyon Canyon, right?
Tent City, sure. Yeah,
it's a death trap if you don't have the right vision. All right. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. So let's say you're like J-Mark, tough day at work, maybe go get a haircut, have a nice little old fashioned while you're getting your haircut
at Scotch and Scissors.
Yes. At Scotch and Scissors. And let's say, you got your Shady Rays on, you stop at Hardee's to get a number 12 and someone's taking a little bit too long time in front of you at the drive-through.
Absolutely not. They're not going to tolerate that.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you get a little altercation off Highway 87.
You'll get in the middle of J-Mark's number 12.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're sitting there screaming, obscenities at one another. And he decides to take his Coca-Cola Classic from Hardee's and launch it into your face. And it just wrecks your glasses. They come down and then, they fall down, but you're reacting. You step on them as you beat the piss out of somebody. Right. And your glasses are done, though. They're done. You get done with everything. You're feeling better about your liquid lunch. You're going back home to the wife, but you're like, oh, my Shady Rays are broke. No, not a problem. Just hit up Shady Rays. They're not even going to ask the question.
Yeah, unlike the wife, they won't ask questions.
They're just going to say, here's your next pair of sunglasses. Go to the, have a good day. Let us know how the Hardee's was. No, right. they're not even going to ask that. But I mean,
they understand. Yeah. So there's Nebraska corn people, they
I like
those are fighting words.
I like this. So with Shady Rays, you could look good and you could feel good because to date they've donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America.
20 million meals.
I'm saying Hardee's hadn't done that shit. Your Hardee's hadn't even done that. Look, if you don't love them, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop at Shady Rays because their team always has your back.
Amazing.
Shady Rays is like James Bond, essentially. You know what I mean? Always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners right now, Shady Rays is giving out the best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com, use the promo code SGPN for 50% on 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. And try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. I'm hoping that we'll have over 200,000 people watching this game on the XFL Gambling Podcast as we head to Houston, Texas for this Texas 2-step between two elite Southern Conference teams in the Extreme Football League. We're at the crossroads where we just saw this matchup happen last week. All right. But I like to think there was a team or two not trying, keeping it vanilla. Arlington Renegades are catching 6.5 points against the Houston Roughnecks. Right. The over-under's at 41.5. Renegades plus 210 on the money line. Roughnecks minus 245. Guys, you know what I'm doing here. I got a future on all Renegades. I theoretically I could hedge here. Not gonna do that because I think the Renegades are gonna win on the money line. I'm all in, and the only thing that's a little concerning, and I actually think this helps the Renegade or the Renegades. I'm seeing a shit ton of rain in Houston on Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah. Starting at 10 a.m.
This is a Saturday game, right?
Does that affect? I think I got to go under. I think I got to go under based on that knowledge.
I like it. I mean, this is the third time they're playing each other, right?
Kind of a cold day too. High of 68.
It's cold down in Texas. Down in Houston.
The other
Houston,
days are like 85. Yeah.
So there is rain, not flooding rain, not open up the Joel Osteen dome kind of rain.
Well,
but
I mean, it depends. Yeah. This starts at 1.
Okay.
Over there. And what I'm seeing is showers all throughout the morning, partly cloudy in the later afternoon.
Interesting.
What do you make of that? Hey, you know a lot about weather over there, as I know hail was hitting your house multiple times and you had tornado warnings. J Mark, what does this weather, is it going to play a role in your handicap perhaps?
It's not going to change what side I'm picking. It's just going to make me lean more towards the under, which I was kind of leaning towards anyways. Both these teams are better on defense than they are on offense.
Yeah, the under's going to hit.
Solid point. And if there's ever two teams that know each other, I mean, they played 3 times. They're in the same hotel. They're bunk mates, for God's sakes. Same airplane, same everything. I mean, they're changing clothes. They're sharing iPad passwords. They know everything about each other.
Okay, can I get in on that Wi-Fi?
All right. Bum Phil. The password is Bum Phillips's ugly wife. Apparently.
Yeah, that's classic. Great Bum Phillips story about when they asked, what Bum Phillips, the father of Wade Phillips, and for the young lads listening, legendary Houston Oilers and New Orleans Saints head coach. But they asked him, why does his wife, the media was saying, why does his wife keep traveling with him to all these road games? And he said, well, she's too ugly to kiss. Well, or she's too, what did I say?
Too ugly to kiss goodbye.
There we go. I
mean,
don't know.
come on.
Yeah, I fucked that up. He served it up like perfectly.
Because
here.
even repeating a quote, it's still nervous to say in today's day and age. Even though we're quoting someone else, you still don't want to say it. It's not your fault at all. That's society that made you fumble that line.
Yeah. I mean, I could just think of all the 1-star reviews.
But under 41 does seem like a solid play. But I don't understand why this line's 6.5 at all.
Dude, Arlington's winning this game.
I think so too. I like Arlington plus 6.5 for sure. I'm definitely playing the money line 220 or 210, whatever it is. It wasn't like 2 weeks ago where I had Houston ranked dead last in this league. I mean, they were terrible. And like you said, like last week's game means absolutely nothing to me. Houston is gaining a little momentum. The rain, I think, actually does help them more, but not much. because I do trust Houston's running game more.
I feel like Houston passes more than runs, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Running the June Jones,
and
Mike Leach offense.
And they shouldn't. Arlington has the edge of quarterback now with Perez. J-Mark's guy out here in Arlington. And I just think, like I said, I like the way Arlington was playing down the stretch a little bit. I mean, until and then they didn't have, and then all of a sudden they didn't have to play for anything.
Yeah.
That last game. So they shut it down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like this is a no-brainer here. I'm all over it. I've already placed a pretty substantial amount of greenbacks on my Renegades. I'm doubling down because I have a future on them to play in the X Cup. What are we calling that? The path to what are we calling the championship game?
The championship game here, the XFL Cup.
Yeah. The Extreme Cup.
It's the Renegade Invitational, but it's I guess now I don't know. They're trying to stay away from extreme.
They used to have the $1 million game back in 2000 when Tommy Maddox in the LA.
Tommy got an offense.
Yeah, what the fuck was there? Los Angeles, was it Express? No, that's USFL. I don't know.
What are they calling? Is it just like the Championship Cup or something?
It used to be called the $1 million game.
Right.
So since they have a history, they should why not keep it like that? I'm all over the Renegades. I'm on the under.
You would think The Rock would be able to promote it. Something ridiculous, some kind of ridiculous title. It's got to tie into a movie of his Mona live reenactment. I don't know. Fuck. The Mona Cup, the unnecessary remake cup.
So we're all gonna get this wrong because we all agree, right?
Yeah, this isn't good that we're all in Arlington here.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you're in Arlington, right, J-Mark?
Yeah. No, if you look at the last 5 weeks for these teams, I don't understand why Roughnecks are favored by 6.5. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you look at the first 5 weeks, I get it, but these last 5 weeks, Arlington has been the better team since Perez has gotten there and kind of taken over. They've been better. So yeah, I don't understand. Something's fishy about it, which worries me. But yeah I'm on Arlington.
You get the more experienced quarterback with Arlington. You get the more experienced coach regarding the XFL with Bob Stoops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's not to like here? And if Vic Bolden plays, obviously you got that. I mean, they got the guys. They've put together this roster. Kelly Bryant, all these guys they've added in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That game, by the way, is on ESPN on Saturday. That's the other game. The very next day, the Seattle Sea Dragons.
That would be Sunday, right?
Yes.
All right. Just making sure.
Sunday. This is on ESPN. Also available on ESPN Deportes.
Ew.
See what I did there? Going to Colombia.
What is Spanish for sea dragon? Have we got that?
That I'm learning that one. I'll ask my connects soon. But folks, the Sea Dragons are a 3-point dog. The over-unders at 48.5. They're alive plus 145 on the money line.
Woo.
The defenders are minus 170. Now here's the problem. I came into this without looking at anything all week. I was thinking I'm taking Arlington and I'm taking Seattle, and they're going to play in the Extreme Cup.
Ooh.
I then, as the days got closer to us recording, I said, whoa. It's raining in Houston all day. Then I said, I think that actually might favor Arlington.
Yeah.
Right. And then I said, okay, let me look at this Seattle DC game. Cause obviously Danucci fumbled at the 1 yard line back in week 1 when he was at DC, when the original lemon party happened. And I see it's pouring rain in Washington, DC the whole day. Both these games, hey, thank God football's back. This is why you don't play in a dome, because this is fantastic, but completely changes my fucking handicap, because I thought Seattle, run and shoot team. Now I got to go with the team that I trust that can run the rock. I'm on DC now, guys. As much as I want to take Seattle, that I'm seeing like this is what the weather report says: steady rain throughout the day, right? Showers continuing late, low of 52 degrees, and winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour. That's that doesn't sound good for a team running the run and shoot, even though I know they're out of Seattle, but they're not really in Seattle because they're in Arlington, Texas. Give me the defenders. I'm curious though about the total. CJ, what are you doing here?
Well, don't forget Seattle likes to run the ball to the tight end nowadays, so they're prepared for a weather like this. But Dundee bringing the Dallas Rains report of the weather for both games coming in strong.
I just had to go, dude. I was ready to place the bet.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, everyone's gonna be on DC. Actually, all the money is on Seattle.
Well, I was liking Seattle when I first said I called this line to be 3. I even saw 3.5 somewhere, but it's steady 3 everywhere. The third time they're playing. The Danucci fumbled on the 1 the first time. They went for a 2-point conversion that they didn't make it. They lost by a conversion the second time. You would think it's hard to beat a team 3 times, unless that team is quarterbacked by the Danucci.
Yeah,
where everybody eats. And I do feel when it comes down to it, I think the Danucci will have a big game. I'm not that concerned about the rain as you are. I think it's going to be offense. I think DC's defense has gotten worse as the season goes along, but their offense has gotten better.
Yeah.
And I think DC at home for a game for this is their destiny. 3's a pretty good value for them at home. The way they've been dominating teams. And
I actually think that last game at Seattle, DC beat their ass.
They did.
I thought it was like a kind of like,
and that's a tough place to play.
Look at the final score. It's like, dude, I watched what I watched. And DC got every single thing that they wanted.
But I also see DC playing their starters versus San Antonio last week.
True.
Easily could have lost that game. Lost to Orlando, but this is at home. And they are a little bit different at home. They are the best team in the league. And it would be a crime if they were not in the championship game.
True.
Especially since I picked them on episode 1 of the show as the longest shot. Gave out plus 750 to ship this title. I'm not going to get off now.
And the Renegades are going to bring it down in the X Cup.
I know. Right? For the Renegades.
$1 million game.
I could see. There's a world where I can definitely see a nice Arlington-Seattle money line parlay. Both of them getting through for the upset championship game. There's definitely a world where I see it. But no need to jump off now. This is what DC has been waiting for, this game here. This is the championship game, too.
Yeah.
I have no fear of Arlington or Houston by DC or Seattle next week, in 3 weeks, whatever in the fucking dome, whatever it is.
Well, that's what they get for having this, for putting their stupid little championship game in a dome, the Alamo Dome. That you could offer me free tickets and I wouldn't go.
So give me beer snake, give me lemons. The rain's going to help.
And
DC.
give us rain in both games.
That's
the football gods. That's George Hallis saying, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
All right.
I like you pointing right at J Mark. Fuck you.
Hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com, XFL Gambling Podcast. J Mark, what are you doing in DC at Aldi Field?
Yeah, so last week I alluded to the fact that I actually have futures tickets on all the teams in the playoffs because I'm a maniac, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, I'd say that. I thought I was a maniac for
I would definitely, if you have 5 futures in an 8-team league, yes, you are definitely.
Well, I actually have a 4th one, but
because I know because it's big as
Orlando,
right? Yeah, we had Orlando and San Antonio. We had
actually maybe I did have 5.
Yeah, and J Mark's biggest one was St. Louis, who didn't make it.
Yeah. Well, I grabbed them at strategic times, so that
absolutely
the only one I don't make profit overall on is Houston. So I definitely rooting against them. That's why I'm picking Arlington. Plus, I think Arlington will win. The second best team that pays me is DC. So I got to ride with DC. I just think they're the most complete team. And the forecast does worry me a little bit, but more so, I think even though DC's defense has gotten worse, Danucci kind of makes defenses a little bit better.
Yeah.
And DC is a team that can capitalize on these turnovers, whether it's running the ball, running that clock, passing the ball. They can do it all. They've shown they can win anyway.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking about this? Yeah. What are we thinking about this total though at 48.5?
Yeah.
I'm still hitting the over.
It's tough.
I think so too.
I can't
10 to 15 mile an hour wins though.
I can't play the under because of weather. And that would be the only reason why you would play the under between these two teams.
I'm just saying, like 10 to 50 mile an hour wins. Them field goals. Field goals can become an issue.
Turn it off the doppelganger. Turn off the fucking double meter. The goddamn barometer pressure. All of a sudden, we got.
Do we have anything we can test?
We got Stormy Daniels. Right? Stormy Daniel over here.
Stormy Daniels over here. Oh man, football weather is happening in the Extreme Football League, and I can't wait for it. Let's shall we get to our DFS lineups? But before we do, I want to tell you that The XFL Gambling Podcast brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, the NBA and NHL playoffs are here. And what better way to get down on some player prop parlays than over at Underdog Fantasy? Besides their daily NHL, MLB, and NBA games, they've also got NFL best ball drafts with a guaranteed $500,000 in prizes. It's April. That's impressive. They also have XFL and USFL, right? Head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by our NFL Draft Props Contest. Yes, part of SGPN's Draft Week is the fact that SGPN's holding a free NFL Drafts Props Contest exclusively for our members on Discord. It's completely free to join, and the winner will get $250 in cash and a $50 SGPN gift card. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord and go to the NFL channel for the sign up link. And look, while you're over there, I mean, XFL fans, hop in the Discord and talk XFL with us. We have a whole spring league category. You hop in there, talk about everything you like, everything. Maybe you think I'm an idiot. Pick Dundee's an idiot. Drop it in there. All right. All right. We're back on the XFL Gambling Podcast. Wow.
Well, I know that.
Sorry, that's Lou Holtz just saying. Normally I'm used to covering 4 games. Down to just 2 games.
Wow. What a campaign it's been. We were just reminiscing over the great season that it's been when J Mark started us right off by terrifying black fraternities and going after Brett Hundley. And here we are. With,
he happened to be, he might have been right about Hundley.
He's right. They cleared. I mean, Vegas obviously didn't like Hundley. That's for sure.
They didn't like him. They got him out of there. Maybe Rod Woodson listened to episode 1 and said, you know what? I mean, here we are. I know you pre-episode, J Mark, you said, yeah, I don't know how I like my DFS lineup. I love my DFS lineup right here. And that's why I am starting off with the bang. I got DC beating Seattle. What is the one defense I don't trust in this 2 games? Seattle. Well, Seattle's has been pretty good in Seattle, but on the road, it's been a little susceptible. I could also throw Houston in there, but I went with the one with the crowd. I got Jordan Ta'amu at 10 G's. All right. 10 G's because J Mark hated on him too. You remember that was part of his whole hatred. Doesn't like the Islanders.
Yep.
All right.
Doesn't like he. Yeah. All right. This all started with his hatred of the absolutely with Ta'amu, and I like him because he'll be running a lot too as well in that weather. So you get a dual threat of J Mark hatred.
J Mark, I know it started with your hatred for the Galapagos Islands, but tell us why and what you're doing at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, you're already making me feel better about my lineup. I also have Ta'amu.
Oh, you sandbagging.
Right.
Just sandbagging. He does have the same quarterback as me. I told him to tail me. He did it without even consulting. What'd you do with your QB?
I upgraded one last time for everybody eats. Get the t-shirts out, get the merch. Danucci 11-2 versus DC secondary. How can you not?
He played at JMU. He's from the area.
I mean, this is it. This is his moment. It's revenge from fumbling on the 1-yard line, which wasn't his fault because they're calling an option with a Danucci for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
The Danucci don't do. Danucci do a lot. He don't do that.
June Jones hasn't had a track. I mean, he lost that one. If you go back to 91, the Atlanta Falcons got housed at RFK. It was in the rain, and Pick Dundee was there.
Yes.
All right. So
we do remember that famously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what happened? I got the backstory in that. Jerry Glanville, we had him on the show. Glanville said Joe Gibbs did not turn off the sprinklers the night before. He did that on purpose to try to slow down that Andre Rison and Deion Sanders speed.
Michael Haynes,
so what I say, Greg Williams is going to be out there doing the same thing.
Okay.
All right. It's going to be throwing those lemon party cocktails all over the field. So they're Josh Gordon slipping.
So Jacques,
all right.
Pearson's in the rig. All right. I like it.
All right. At the running back spot. This might be a reckless play. Actually, my top guy. I'll get to my reckless play later.
Okay.
I'm going Abram Smith at 9,800.
Do I get off now?
Greatest fucking running back to ever put on a Defender's uniform. You on board?
He's amazing. No, I know. Like I said, I vowed him after I capped out when I found his when I got his greatest game for St. Louis when he had the 204 touchdowns, whatever. I didn't want to chase those numbers again. I was done with him. And I want to chase that dragon. I want that feeling again. And I can't do the same if I just keep pounding Abram Smith, the best running back in the league.
There's only 2 games.
Yeah. What's the fun? What's the fun in that? So I'm going to go an early J-Mark, take a page out of his book and go with Max Borgi. At 7,600. I like a play.
Got to play the white running back.
Got to play a white running back angle when the weather gets bad. Down to Texas Friday Night Lights, even though it's on a Saturday.
J-Mac, do I even need to ask if you're loading your whole team up with 3 white running backs?
He's playing Brian Hill anyway, out of spite, I bet.
Yeah. What are you doing, buddy?
Only one running back for me. We all think Arlington's going to win. However, if Houston wants to win this game, I think they do it on the ground. They've struggled at the quarterback position, especially the last several weeks. So, CJ, I'm right there with you, Max Borgi.
There you go. I like it. I like a Max Borgi play this week.
This guy's just copying people. Maybe he didn't. I don't even know if he had a DFS roster set. So yeah, Kobe's play sounds good.
Right here.
I love that because the reality is probably J-Mark probably had this last week, and
it's true.
Me and Colby both drew ours up 5 minutes as we're downloading the last week's show.
Definitely, but J-Mark, I am impressed though because he, as a guy that I had Te'amu on his fantasy team last year. That's actually we're joking.
We're joking about the islands.
About the islands.
It's a more real hatred.
He really dislikes them, which I've been there before. Sure. I've drafted fantasy football guys
and
that were
duds. You got scorned.
And you dislike them, in the future. But, J-Mark showing that he's a bigger man. He's going out there rostering Jordan Te'amu, which makes me want to get him off my roster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not too late for the move some numbers around. Get yourself a nooch.
Did you guys? I only went 2 running backs. I only went 2 backs this.
Usually you do the wishbone,
which I should probably do the wishbone, knowing that we got Pick Dundee's rain forecast coming in hot through Houston and DC. But I loaded up on look. I happen to root for the Colorado Buffaloes. I'm just gonna die hard on this one. Give me Philip Lindsay again at 6,600.
I can't.
June Jones, you filth. Look, we love June Jones. You've been on the show here. What the fuck you doing? Give the NFL Pro Bowler the ball. All right.
I think maybe come playoff time, I think the NFL players are going to step up for this game. I don't know what he was doing giving that ball to the tight end last week for fucking 15 times. But maybe it was because they knew the rules, even though no one else did, the tiebreaker system, that no matter what we do, we're fine. We're in the playoffs. No matter what the point system is. So maybe they were saving Lindsay for a bit. So I can't hate on Philip Lindsay being in there.
Did you roster him?
I did not.
Okay. Reckless play, Dundee.
I swore him up. No, I went much cheap. How much is Philip Lindsay? He was around 7,000?
6,600.
Oh, that's pretty good value. Then that's not bad at all. I went even dirt cheaper with my flex second running back. In that, I got Borgi in one. Then I went Letty Brown for 4,700 for Arlington. He's a second back there, but he gets a lot of usage. He gets a lot of checkdowns.
I'm trying to talk myself into perhaps going Letty Brown just because. Phil Lindsay gets like 3 carries.
He gets 3 fucking carries a game.
He always gets one or 2 point conversion. Though.
Yeah, he does. He is good. He does work the 2 point conversion. That's how Marcel Aitman. I like the guys who get conversions only. They get no stats up and down the field, but just for.
So if you want to roster him, he's a guy who can get you 2 points.
Right.
All right.
But Letty Brown, he's got a lot of usage, a lot of targets. He got in the end zone last week too, as well. And at 4,700, he's becoming the number 1 back there over Smith. So
you're making a compelling case.
And a messy game down there in Houston. Let's do it.
And if I was to go do it, which I haven't done it yet, grabbing him. But then I could grab the nooch and get off of.
Grab the nooch and get off top. That's what I'm saying. Make money meet, baby. Let's do this.
J-Mark, what are you doing there, buddy, on your second running back?
Yeah, so I normally don't have a second running back, but I do this time. And CJ, I hate to copy again, but I also had Letty Brown 2 weeks ago, 6 receptions.
Do you hate to copy? Because it seems like you enjoy copying.
We're just wondering why you even came to do the show at this point.
Yeah, right. I know. I love this Letty Brown play. I played him last week too, and he was one of the only guys who stepped up for me. But I think he's going to feature back out there.
So wide receiver,
Okay, now we're talking.
I didn't have enough money to get my guy Ja'Cory Pearson, even though he's been on my team almost every week of the season. But I did have money to go with his bandmates. All right, Josh Gordon. You just said it a minute ago, CJ. The NFL guys are gonna have a big weekend. Josh Gordon going to DC. $9,600. He got into it with the defensive backs from DC a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Revenge is on the mind as Josh Gordon heads into Washington DC. So, 9,600. Give me the Gordon Flash guy over here. Flash Gordon.
Yeah. You can hit that button with me because I also tailored you with Josh Gordon.
See, now it's getting
same philosophy though.
Yeah.
The NFL players stepping up in his game. I also couldn't afford Pearson, but I like Gordon stepping. I mean, I think and if the weather gets bad, I like that even better for Gordon because he's a strong, piece. Like
I think it would affect Pearson actually.
Affects Pearson worse. Green, Green as well. Who I did who didn't do bad last week.
Yeah. J Mark, what's your top wideout?
Yeah, well, I could afford Ja'Cory Pearson.
Yes.
So I threw him on there. I have not been able to afford him the past several weeks. Wanted to at least get him one more time.
Yeah.
So I took Ja'Cory Pearson.
Okay.
There we go.
10,600.
Worth every nickel.
Yeah. I mean,
even though the field might be watered down, Rick, some shenanigans might be being reported.
Greg Williams, baby. Greg Williams, legend. All right, my second wide receiver, CJ just shit on a minute ago. I'm going with Juwan Green.
Oh, he was my guy last week. I rostered Juwan Green. I didn't shit on him. I mean, he's the bandmate. I called him Jaquez possibly one time, but he's Juwan Green, and he had a good game last week as well.
That's what I'm saying. So I get some of that. I want a slice of that Danuch passing attack. So load me up there. CJ, did you go with Juwan, or who'd you go with your second wide?
I spread it out. I didn't double stack like that. I do got Danuch Gordon is enough stack there. But I will stick with that game, and I'll go with Josh Hammond for DC. He's only at 6,100. He had a big game last week as well, and he's become. I know we all love Lucky Jackson.
He's 6,100.
6,100 for a 1A receiver, and he's more of a prototype receiver. I think in a tough playoff
I'll buy into that
weather game.
I just made the switch.
Yeah,
I made the switch. Now I got $1,400.
I love the flip
cash
flops
just sitting there.
So who did you just drop? Green.
Got him out of there.
This is the convictions our listeners need. Yeah. They want to hear.
Well, look, my final play.
Don't hit submit till the end of the show. Because
don't hit submit to the end of the show. All right. I made a lot of sense here because look, I have a guy that I don't know that he's going to play.
Right.
So now I free up the money to cut that guy who you guys will never know his name. All right. But we did drop his name earlier in this episode. And now I got a lot of money out there and I can have some fun. J Mark, what's your second receiver?
Yeah. So last time DC and Seattle played, this guy had 5 receptions, 148 yards and a touchdown, 7,800. Give me Chris Blair.
Yeah.
For DC.
Chris Blair. I debated between him and Hammond for sure.
You gotta like it. And my philosophy is backfiring here because I do not see a lot on the market with my extra money.
With the DC passing attack, you just got to guess which one's going to step up too between those three. It seems like Blair. Lucky Jackson's obviously was consistent, but between Blair and Hammond, they don't usually both have similar games, but one of them is capable of doing that.
Yeah, my whole plan's all over the place right now.
Okay.
I'm going back to Juwan Green. Sorry, guys.
I like our listeners putting 3 different lineups in all those same players because Colby Dundee makes them keep switching back and forth.
I went back. I thought I was going to be able to get another high price guy.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't. I'm back to where I should be. Where my my next.
You do play multiple lineups, but on the same lineup somehow. So you're a multi-single lineup.
That's
entry.
true.
I like that.
I like the little hodgepodge. You know, a little bounce around. I have only one guy left besides my defense.
Right.
All up there.
Same, similar.
Look, this was my risky play, so I am going to tell you what happened. I'm going back to the Wolf. Ooh, Ethan, motherfucking Wolf.
Well,
all right.
The legend.
2,500. I'm a bit nervous that he might not play this game.
But that's what you got to shoot for.
But I think when healthy,
he'll be not rostered too high. That's what I like about this play.
2,500 of cold hard cash.
Yes.
Look, when he's playing, he's an effective part of this offense. Go back to the early weeks of the Extreme Football League, getting 2-point conversions, getting touchdowns. I think he had a game with multiple touchdowns. Yep. Let's go with Ethan Wolf, the legend.
Ethan Wolf's my guy. I famously in our fantasy draft, frustratingly called him a piece of shit because I got auto picked him and talking about double tight end. I was wrong. He's great. He became the number 1 tight end for my team, of course, and then he stepped up. Had a few injuries, but he's a great guy, great player, great character, great family.
Love everything he does.
All apologies to Ethan Wolf, and I root for him. I won't do the Wolf call myself. I'm not a voice specialist like J Mark doing rock impressions, but love Ethan Wolf. But I went with the number 1 tight end in XFL and from the USFL, Sal Cannella at 6,600. I mean, he is just a clear cut and another pro guy in the playoff game. And Perez is going to
if Wolf has been healthy all year, they'd be sitting there.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Similar numbers.
And Canella's numbers have gone flying as soon as Perez has become the quarterback.
He can complete a pass.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he can find it, like 10 targets kind of game. So I love Sal Canella's just sheer volume.
J Mark, what are you doing on that final roster spot besides your defense?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of cash left. So I went with Jordan Veazey. Those Seattle guys every now and then can break out. So maybe Gordon's getting extra attention. Maybe Pearson's not getting all the targets, and maybe Veazey's getting them. So yeah, give me Jordan Veazey. He's 5,300.
The big Veazey.
Why
not?
The sleazy Veazey. I love it.
Right. I like it. I mean, I'm wondering about the rain. Monitor that rain scenario. Got someone in the DC area.
Chicken Little announcing with this weather. The sky is falling on both XFL playoffs.
I don't know about you guys, but I got guys in the DC area. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna call them an hour before the game and say, "Do me a favor, look out your window. Tell me what you see." All right.
What about our beer snake connection guy? Did he ever come? Can we get a weather report from him?
Guy.
No, I know. Screw him. But I mean, Jesus Christ.
I need you to change your schedule. All right.
Yeah, right.
Said, dude, all right. We'll have you on next year, all right? If there is a next year, all right? I'm joking, but he's good.
I just want a rain report from him. That's all. I don't even want to care about this damn snake.
Defensively, are we all? I have a feeling we're all rostering the same defense.
I think we can guess this one as well.
I'm a renegade man. All right, 4K.
4K, you gotta love it.
They brought in Caleb Ellaby last week.
Yeah.
Who the hell they starting at quarterback this week? Do we have any idea?
All right. And I heard it's going to rain. I heard it's rumors.
That's why they should go with Ellaby. They should. Just,
No, yeah. Is Silver's hurt? What's going on down there?
Long John Silver's can't handle the rain.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Yeah. So at 4K, so you have them?
Of course. 4K, they played that song. I'm sure you got them too. That's an auto play.
J Mark, who's your defense?
Yep. Arlington.
All right. Let's do it. Those are 3 Arlington Renegades I'm rocking. Lenny Brown, Sal Cannella, Arlington D right there in the bottom. Bottom heavy Arlington.
That's the only thing I got in that game. Yes. Everything else is DC and Seattle, baby.
Got it.
Going to victory lane. All right. Folks, subscribe to the XFL Gambling Podcast because we're going to be here on the road where intersections meet to the championship between podcasting and championship spring league football play. We're going to be here. Handicapping. We're going to do a reaction show. We also got the X Cup preview that we'll be doing. I'll be in fucking Columbia.
The self-titled X Cup. Yes.
I'm going to be down in Columbia.
You're going to be patching through from Columbia.
I'm not talking about Missouri. I'm talking about Bogota. All right.
You're scouting for next year's XFL players down in Columbia.
Get them a kicker. All right. Get the Brahmas a kicker that can make a kick with the game on the line.
God.
But also make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. CJ Sullivan does great work, if I may say so myself. Give him a follow on social media at CJ Sullivan _ and subscribe to that podcast. And check out J Mark. J Mark does, he's always behind the scenes doing something. He's got the Old Fashioned Football podcast, him and his wife, fantastic stuff. Then he's got the NFL Gambling Podcast where him and Moneyline Mac, less fantastic stuff, but still good. Go listen to both of those podcasts. I also host the USFL Gambling Podcast. I also host the College Football Experience. We talk college football year round there, and a shit ton of other podcasts, but I'm not going to plug them right now. All right, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast, NFL Draft. We have something dialed up, man. It's going to be fantastic. I'm part of it. CJ Sullivan's a part of it. J Mark's a part of it. I'm a part of it. Check it out. Instead of listening to a bunch of squares on Thursday night breakdown, who in the hell is Mel Kiper? All right. We're gonna
never put on a jock strap.
Yeah. I'm telling you, just get on over to the Sports Gambling Podcast YouTube channel and sit back and enjoy. I think you'll really dig it. So do that. Grab the SGPN app. Don't forget about the Shady Rays. Get yourself some sunglasses. It's summertime. You got no excuses. And until the recap show, what's Sunday night? Sunday night?
Sounds good.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
You're hearing us make plans, listeners, as we speak. That's what that was right there.
This is the XFL Gambling Podcast. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Playoffs.
X marks the spot. X marks the crossroads. Two straight lines crossing over in the middle. That's the letter you must see to find the treasure or the clue or the X-ray machine that's looking right inside of you. X is the letter without which one could not do. X marks the spot.